All right, they're about to be able to see you, everybody. You and your beautiful faces. Hi, Mom. All right, transitioning that, and now transitioning sound so that they can hear you, because that's kind of important. Yeah. Always explaining the transition. That's what I'm known for here on the TB&J mic, and let's get started. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the TB&J Open Mic. I'm Tom, and co-hosting with me this week, as always, is Brooksy. Poopsie. Before we get started, I'm going to do a quick review of our policies. So, first up, two-strike heckler policy. First strike, we'll mute you. Second strike, AE doing anything weird from your camera, we're going to kick you out of the room. Next, we have a zero-tolerance harassment policy. So if you feel like you are being harassed, feel free to send either me or Brooks a private message, and we'll kick them out of the room, no questions asked. Also, when you perform, in less serious news, you can switch to either gallery view or pin the square that is numbers. That's your timer. That tells you when your 4 minutes are up. And if that doesn't work for you, just PM me or Brooks, and we can give you an audible cue by saying 1 minute at 1 minute before the end of your set. And networkers, don't forget to put your stuff in the chat, because we like doing that here. And then for our audience, special note that this is an open mic, so the comedians performing to us come with varying levels of experience, so be nice. Also, the content featured on this show and all of our shows is not suitable for all audiences. You have been warned. Also, plug, because tomorrow is the day, guys. We're doing Stand Up for a Cause for ACT. It's our charity show. Organization is the AIDS Committee of Toronto. And that's, again, tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So mark your calendars, set a reminder for yourself. It's going to be a good time. And yeah, I'll plug, don't forget to sign up for our other shows, Jackbox with Friends, or Jacking Off with Friends, rather, where we play Jackbox games. And yeah, it's a good time. Check out the other stuff we do. And if you want to support the stream, I would normally say send us a donation, but given the show tomorrow, go ahead and just give it to the stream site for the charity benefit tomorrow. It's in the description, and then all that money will go to ACT. So send them that way this time. And yeah, pretty much links to anything else as far as District Comedy is concerned, you can find in the description. That being said, let's get started. Woo, 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 woo! I'm gonna tell a couple jokes because I'll never force you guys to transition out of harassment policies. But yeah, that being said, I'm gonna start with some dark humor about how sad I am. No, not actually. But no, I've been having a hard time at my current job. For those of you who have been watching the show, I got a new job in November, and I just haven't been vibing with the people there. Like, I feel like they're not making their expectations clear, and then they assume that I've been given resources that I actually haven't been given because my supervisor called out sick for 4 months and just came back. And also, I've discovered that apparently I do this really annoying thing where if I see people doing stuff that I don't think makes sense, I ask them to explain it to me. And they're always like, because I don't know, that's how we've always done it. Get out of here, you dumb millennial, stupid logic. So we've come up with a really good solution that I think is going to work for everybody, which is that they're going to promote me. So yeah, they have a position coming up. Their collection development. I'm a librarian now. I would be becoming a librarian too. And yeah, so it works for everyone because I get the training that I deserve, and they'll be able to start over with another new hire and won't have to deal with me, which is like, I'm fine with this. I wish this was always how the world worked. I think that should be the new standard. It's going to be hard for me to feel happy again after this. I'm like Benjamin Button, but for careers. Is basically I keep underachieving and they keep paying me more money. That's enough jokes. Moving on. I didn't have time to write this week. I'm sorry, guys. But let me take myself out of spotlight. switch to gallery view just for a hot second so I can see who's in the room. Do we have our first person? Yes, we do! He's here. He's a really fun comedian. He was out for a couple of weeks, but now he's back, and he's awesome, and he runs an awesome newsletter called The Laugh Letter that you should all check out. Oh, sorry, no. His intro said, just say here he is, and I said way more than that. But here he is, Sean Rossman. Woo!
Hey, everyone. Good to be back. So I bought some Girl Scout cookies recently. Whenever I buy Girl Scout cookies, I feel like I'm this like selfless philanthropist. Like I'm Bill Gates or something. Like I'm just sitting on my couch eating Thin Mints, being like, I really made a difference in those kids' lives. I don't feel like buying Girl Scout cookies is a true charitable act. Like I don't think real charitable giving involves insane, indulgent, otherworldly pleasure. Eating Girl Scout cookies. Like if I donate to the American Cancer Society, days later while I'm watching TV, I'm not going to be struck with a sudden urge to lead a 5K, 1K fun run. Like I'm not stress donating canned goods in the middle of the workday, hoping my girlfriend doesn't find out. Oh man, I've found myself making a lot of excuses lately. The problem with excuses isn't that they're weak, it's that they feel so damn good. Like it's really hard to take self-responsibility when not doing so feels just good. Like even better is avoiding your own faults. Like forget finding strength in the struggle. Have you ever used someone else's mistake to build yourself up? That is the best. The other day, instead of working out, I just thought about how other people need to read more. It really worked. It really did the trick. I was like, I'm not going running, but I know Kurt needs to get into more nonfiction. That's you would think from like an evolutionary standpoint, we would have shaken this by now. Like I imagine this goes back a ways. Like there has to have been one of our ancestors who was just like, I'm not going hunting today. The Jim's cave's a goddamn mess. I often come up with an excuse after I do something like disgusting or terrible. Like the other day, I ate a ton of ice cream, like 3 bowls in a row. And I thought, oh, this is for the time a few weeks ago you cleaned out your car, the inside of your car. Like I had to come up with a reason afterwards for why I did what I just did. That's like running a red light and being like, oh, that's okay. That's for not hitting those kids early. So my girlfriend and I have been watching a lot of movies lately. Most of them are set in New York City. And I just thought, one observation about these movies set in New York City, why does every serious conversation need to happen during a game of squash? Like, about 45 minutes into every movie, the camera just cuts to 2 out of shape guys just going, wah, wah. Dude, you haven't asked her out on a second date yet? Wah, wah. Like, is there some sort of city ordinance that says, like, if you're filming in Manhattan, you need to go to a squash court? That's just like, I just imagine a director being like, in this shot, we would prefer both characters to be breathing pretty heavily and playing a game that no one knows how to play. All right, that's my time. Thanks a lot.
Woo! Give it up for Sean Rossman, everybody. Woo, 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 woo. Squashing it. First full set of the night. I'll stop. Next up on the mic, she's been here a few times. She lives in Chicago and produces The Weekend Remedy, currently a virtual weekly mic on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Central. Weekend_Remedy_Chicago on Instagram and Facebook if you want to follow. Give it up for Grace K. Snyder. Woo, 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 woo.
Thank you for all the underscores.
Yeah.
That means a lot. I needed that. I had to do some comedy today for coworkers, and I had forgotten how real people laugh at everything. It's fucking fabulous. I mean, my set wasn't that great, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm killing it. I'm telling jokes about paper towels. I should do that joke for you, but I'm not going to do that right now. I want to say that I have officially become a middle school boy. Here's why. Okay. I'm into video games, and I don't mind paying money for them, which means I have a problem. There's this mystery game, and I'm pretty sure teenage boys are like this with the characters of the sex they're into. I am really into this one guy on one of the video games, and yeah, he's just like CGI, like, and it's not very well done either. But that's where I am right now. This pandemic is pushing me over the edge. I'm not kidding with you either. I sent the photo to a friend of mine so she could see. She's a little concerned, but we'll be okay. Yeah, it's not good. Another thing I'm doing with this pandemic is eating like I'm never going to see anybody. Like, I'm eating a lot more, but also eating beans and garlic raw. Do you know how bad that is? You know what happens when you do those things? I'm just going to let you take your imagination. The human brain is amazing, and you can probably imagine what it smells like. It's not great. God, it's just not great. Oh my God. Yeah, so I'm gonna do the paper towel joke. It's really lame. So basically, the point is that I've lived in Alaska 15 years, and I still in Chicago act like I'm in Alaska. I carry firewood, no shit, in my car. You just never know. I have fire starter, of course. I have a stove, and then beans and rice. That's from the pandemic, though. Got a shit ton of that. Obviously, I'm into beans right now. And paper towels. And I will say that is my that is like my footprint thing. Like, I use too many paper towels, but I'm realizing it's not really the paper towel itself. It's the joy of like ripping it off the roll. Okay. And I know this because we got bamboo towels. I invested in bamboo towels, and it's like 6 months in one roll. Yeah, right. But like, you're supposed to be able to wash them, you know, and then dry them and blah, blah, blah. But my roommates have been just ripping the shit off the roll. And so I'm rolling them back up. So they'll never know, right? They'll never know. We also have bamboo toilet paper, and you know, like, if shit hits the fan again, I'm rolling that shit back up too. You know? Going into the trash can and just being like, this looks fine, good. It wasn't in the toilet. Can you imagine that, like pulling the toilet paper out of the toilet and then putting it out to dry? Can you imagine that? Not good. I had an outhouse in Alaska, and I had to help twice. God, the guys I date, I had to help redig their outhouses, which might mean either they're full of a lot of shit, or when I lived with them, I added to the shit. Like, there's something there. I just haven't figured it out yet. But oh my God. But I feel like this is a thing in Alaska. You decide, you know what? The ground's too frozen, so I'm just going to put a half barrel here. I'm going to put it down here and build on top of it. And we have an outhouse. Yeah, that thing will overflow very quickly. Okay. And do you know what happens when you have animals in the area, which inevitably you do in the woods of Alaska? They come and visit. Yeah. So if you think my beans and garlic thing is a problem and there's a bad smell, just imagine that. That's all I have to say. My name is Grace. I'm so sorry to leave you on such like disgusting comedy, but you know what? That's that. Thanks, y'all.
Give it up for Grace, everybody. We love her here. Yeah, man, shit happens though. Next up, I know. Next up, on our set, he's got well, okay, so I'll say this first. He wrote for his introduction generic. I initially read it as geriatric and was really confused for a second because I'm always really tired. However, you should also check out his stuff because actually after this, I think at midnight Eastern. He does his own open mic called Introvert's Paradise. You should check it out. It's a good time. Give it up for Kevin Wong. Woo, 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 woo.
Oh, thank you. You don't have to give it up for me. I am slightly geriatric, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause I'm so old. Like, I'm to that point where I have become that uncle. You know what I'm talking about? Like, our parents warned us about me. They would say stuff like when we were kids, they go, "Hey, get your shit together. Get your grades up. You don't want to end up like your uncle." Like, that's me, you know? I still live in the studio apartment, got a punching bag with a hatchback. That's what I drive. So, and then I can't have a girlfriend. I can't have a girlfriend at my age because it's like seeing like two used cars hook up, you know? Like, it's just very awkward. So, you know, I look at this. I let my hair go. This is my pandemic hair. It's been like 4 months. I'm gonna let it go because I want to fool you guys into thinking I might have feelings. Like, that's my illusion here, right? Or you should respect my opinion on music. I get either or, one of those two.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like the new Justin Bieber song, "Lonely." Dude, that song makes me want to be in a relationship, then go through a breakup. Like, that's what I want to go through. It's just why? Because it's like I used to get so emotional over songs, and I just don't feel that way anymore. It's just awkward. I don't do that anymore. So I got back from spring training, went down to Arizona, and I don't know if anybody into baseball. Not really. A couple of people. Okay, so I went down, and here's the deal. It's like, for me, the big thing is seeing the starting lineup, because we don't know who we're gonna see. It's a lot like the cover of a book where you get to see like all the artists, or even like the beginning credits of a movie. Like, you see Ben Affleck, you see Henry Cavill, like all these names pop up. That's what it's like for me. Took a full lap.
Sorry,
and I did not
technical
see
issues.
I did not see any names, so I went up to the information booth, and there was an old lady, and I said, "Do you know where the starting lineup is? Do you guys post this?" And this is what the older lady said to me. She goes, "The Chinese government didn't warn us about how powerful this virus is going to be, so we can't post the lineup." And I was like, I think this is the misinformation booth, you know, but the whole thing, I didn't know why she did that. I was like, is she related to the royal family? Because I was slightly racist. So I did the most passive aggressive thing I could do, which is I got up and I got in my car, then I ran her over. I don't even know why or how. I think this is why they decided to give us 2 vaccines, because if they give us 1 or 2 at the same time, you just grow some racist balls and just kind of just say whatever you want. So it was slightly awkward. I don't know what she was going through. Like, maybe her sister Elizabeth was like, "Oh, you know that thing with Oprah? I don't condone that." So I don't know. You know, the royal family probably thought Meghan Markle was wearing blackface the whole entire time, so they probably thought that she was cool. So, you know, but then realized, oh, she might be half black, so maybe that's not a good thing. I don't know. It's just slightly awkward. But yeah, it kind of ruined it a little bit for me. But that was partly my fault, because I let my guards down on an older white grandma. You know what I mean? Like, of all things, like, you know that older white grandmas are slightly racist, because at some point, you know, like, I don't know, it's just a little bit awkward. Like, I have a friend, she told her granddaughter, "Do not marry a black man." Like, that's what my buddy told me. And I was like, "Well, what about me?" And she's like, "No, neither are you. You're just slightly, you got a little hue to you, so you can't date her." I was like, "Okay." But she was pretty. She was pretty, and it was my friend's friend. So anyway, that's all I got to share with you guys. I want to say thank you guys. You guys do a great show. I'll see you guys around.
Yay! Woo, woo, woo! Give it up for Kevin Wong, everybody! And don't forget Introvert's Paradise, Thursdays at midnight Eastern. And I just remembered, you have one on Friday too. Is that the same time?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
cool. Same time on Fridays too. Next up, we have a great comedian, a Canadian-based comic, and she wants you to know that ketchup chips are delicious. They are not. We discovered that very recently on this mic, although I appreciate the gesture of snacks that travel internationally. And you probably know her from such things as me accidentally spotlighting her just now during Kevin's set. Give it up for Desiree Walsh. Woo, 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 woo.
Hi, I am Canadian. Like Tom said, it's true. there's still no joke there. Still more of a humble brag at this point. I am rooting for you, America. Ketchup chips are delicious. I don't care what Tom says. They're the food of my people, and I love them. Yes. I like doing mics with Americans because I'm learning so much about America. You have so many tasty snacks. You are the inventors of Fruit Loops donuts, and I think that is quite commendable. Although I find it rather gaslighting that a country with so many tasty snacks does not have universal health care. The story should be, have another Baconator. We'll take care of you. Not, watch out for little Debbie. She'll kill you. And one of the more appalling facts about your healthcare system, it was hard to pick just one, that I find super appalling is an ambulance, if you don't have insurance, is $3,400 American. So that's a lot of money. Yeah, Canada's dollar's low and it's funny. Yeah. In about 1990, the province of Ontario, which is where I'm from, province is Canadian for state. Follow me for more linguistic terms and differences. They decided that they were going to charge $45 for an ambulance ride. Everything else was free. They'd just like your $45, please. And people were livid that the government would have the audacity to charge its people $45. And in fact, I got injured when I was little, and my mom was like, "Oh no, we need an ambulance." And my dad said, "No, put her in the car and I'll drive real fast. I have his funeral sticker. Don't ask me how I got it. I just have it. Because I'll be damned if I'm paying $45 for a child to go to the hospital." And to my dad's credit, the family rule was if you can breathe and talk, you do not need an ambulance. So shame on me for not passing out cold, really. Yeah. The other thing I have learned about America is if you have a baby, best case scenario, it will run you $10,000. That is not to raise it. That is to extract it from yourself or your partner's body. And why are we doing that, America? Having kids is bad enough. Why do we have to saddle new parents with debt? Actually, when I was little, my parents used to tell me, if we were American, your birth would have bankrupted us. I'm a twin. I'm also disabled. I think most of you knew that. If you didn't, surprise, I can't walk. And when we were little, so myself and my sister were like, so what do American parents do that have twins that can't afford the birth? And my mom looked at us deadpan, because apparently she's a psychopath, and said, they stay in the hospital forever. Till I was about 11, I just thought all American hospitals were like that scene from The Shining. Yeah. And it wasn't actually till I went to a wheelchair basketball tournament in Whitewater, Wisconsin, and met other people who were twins and disabled that I realized my mom is full of shit. Thank you. That's my time.
Woo! Give it up for Desiree, everybody. Desiree. Yeah, no, still not selling me on those ketchup chips.
They're so good.
I mean,
they really aren't.
Okay,
they really aren't.
So
Foul.
What I will say about ketchup chips is that I have definitely had like more disgusting American snacks. Like I really have no right to judge when like most of college I lived off of like Uncrustables and like taquitos from 7-Eleven from like the previous day's heat roller. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's talk more about the next comedian coming up. He's great. He's another one of our lovely Canadians here. And yeah, just give it up for Just Camilo. Woo, 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 woo!
Thanks, guys, for having me. It's great. So when you hear about supporting local businesses, yeah, well, there's a guy selling the vaccines underneath my stairwell, but I think the chances that it's actually not the vaccine, I admit, are pretty high. But I still gotta respect their intentions, because like no one knows their customers as well as this guy does. He's not wasting my time selling me newspapers or toothpicks with mint. No, he knows we all want the vaccines. So it's really smart in a way. And I'm surprised that nobody else has gotten onto the vaccine bandwagon yet. Like I'm waiting for the day that Krabby Joe's drops some vaccine flavored wings. That would be skyrocketing in my head. Or maybe if the Home Depot gardens made a Pfizer plant. I want the Pfizer plant in my room. I mean, it's clever marketing, but it's fun to be anti-COVID. So far, it's just the local businesses. And of course, I would buy their vaccines if only I had a heroin addiction. I don't feel like I need it yet. Still, plenty of shows to watch. Summer's on its way. I have a dentist appointment. I don't want to throw all that away. So I guess what I'm trying to get at here is I have a really good reason to not support local businesses. If you catch me eating at Krabby Joe's again, it's because I'm saying no to drugs. Just wanted to clear that up. Okay, so did you guys know that there used to be like these giant animals, like frogs and cats, but they were like abnormally huge. But they all died. Now we have like the small version. So like dinosaurs, now we have small lizards. Frogs are like these small creatures for us. They used to be huge millions of years ago. It's weird because I never thought that midgets were so powerful. But midgets are the only surviving animals of the animal kingdom. They're the only ones that are still going. So I think what that means is that when we all die, midgets are gonna still be walking the earth and thriving, and I think that's really cool. So I've stopped making fun of midgets. I think they're great now, lovable. Yeah. That's my bombshell for this week. Thank you very much. I've been Camilo, and enjoy the rest of the night.
All right. There we go. Cool. You know, Camilo, you put me in a hard position because I really like you, and you've been coming to the mic for a while. I feel real uncomfortable with all the midget jokes. Less cool. But next up on our mic, we got another regular on the mic. He's a cool guy. You can catch him doing all the comedy things at some college near you. Give it up for Chris Alio. Woo, 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 woo.
This is really awkward. I was about to do 4 on midgets. So,
well, switch it up.
I'm playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just had like I'm just so fucking tired today. I had such a long day. Like, I just had so much work to do today to the point where like I literally considered just like packing it up and just becoming a farmer.
And this is Greg.
Someone should mute themselves and all of their friends. I'm going to give you another 10 seconds. Don't worry, Chris. Sorry.
I just got heckled by someone. I can't even see him. This is like a ghost infinity. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I just had like such a hard fucking day today. Like,
fucking Nick. I know that laugh.
Fuck. You know, how are you supposed to get back into your jokes after that? Anyway, that was at the grocery store the other day. What I was gonna say was, I've had such a long day where I consider just like packing it up and becoming a farmer. Like that's where I was at today. Was it worth it? Oh God, was it worth saying the joke anyways after all that? Here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about these stray cats that I have that hang out in my back alley. I live in Philadelphia. I live in West Philadelphia, for those who don't know, and I have like these just like badass fucking city cats that live in my back alley. Like, all right, there's this one cat that has 4 legs, right? And then it went away, and then it came back the same day with 3 legs. Where did the 4th leg go? I don't understand. And the thing is that this cat was unfazed. Like, it was fine. The cat was literally like, it's going to take a lot more than that to get rid of me. A lot more. I need 4 legs. I need 1 tops. Oh my God. Like, they live off trash. Literally, there's a dumpster behind my place, and they eat the trash for food. I was laying in bed one night, and I couldn't sleep. And I got out of bed. I looked out of my back window. I saw a family of black cats eating a table. Like the mom was like talking to all the kids. It was like, kids, dinner's on the table. I'm sorry, dinner is the table, actually. That's hey, puns, baby, puns. Oh God. I don't know. I'm not much of a cat guy. Like, I just didn't really have them growing up. I grew up with dogs. I had a golden retriever growing up because, you know, why not be more white? My parents like looked at my brother and sister and I when we were kids, and they were like, "How can we make them more aggressively Caucasian? What can we do with these kids?" Let's see. They're in the suburbs. You know, they go to Catholic school. We drive a Toyota Highlander. What else can we do? Oh, golden retriever, that'll do it. Yeah. The politician of dogs. Oh my goodness. Golden retrievers kind of look like those like really homey white suburban moms who are like very nice and loving to all people, but then they secretly vote like anti-gay across the board, like very closet. All right. I guess I'll end my set on that lightly homophobic note. Thank you so much, everybody.
Give it up for Chris Alio, everybody. He's a funny guy. Check him out. All the social media stuff. Don't forget to share him in the chat. Next up, we're going to give it over to my wonderful co-host, Brooks. And I was too tired today and this week to come up with an intro more than that. So give it up for Brooks. Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Camille, I gotta say, you pledging that you're not gonna make midget jokes anymore is like me pledging that I'm quitting drinking. Like, it's really inspiring to say out loud, but we all know it's bullshit. It's funny because I have a dangerous problem. Like how I just share sad things about my life, and then Nick laughs into the camera. And Ralph looks at me like, is he really being serious, or do we need to like send a welfare check? Welcome to the sad mic, the part where I just riff on things going wrong in my life. Hey Desiree, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
That's cool. Do you like Tim Hortons?
I do, yes.
Like, Canadians are really into Tim Hortons, right? Like, you guys, like, there are weddings in Tim Hortons in Canada, isn't that right?
I don't know, but probably yes.
Okay, that's good enough of a yes for me to continue this bit where I'm going. Like,
Okay.
what is it about Canadians and these mediocre regional chain restaurants? Like, Canadians will go out of their way to brag about how good a Tim Hortons is. Or like people from LA, they have an entire culture obsessed with In-N-Out. Like, this obsession is weird and obnoxious, and you will never catch me doing anything like that. Now, what you will catch me doing is threatening to fight a guy because he said that Applebee's tastes better than 99 Restaurant, a regional chain of casual dining establishments that are basically a Chili's. But instead of zesty baby back ribs, you get fried cod, and bland mashed potatoes. Thank you for that one pity chuckle for bland mashed potatoes.
Woo!
But like, look, you may not see me getting an In-N-Out tattoo, like the In-N-Out logo tattooed on me, but I have ended family relationships because they said Wawa was better than Sheetz. Like that one, like, yeah, I agree with that fully. Fuck people who think Wawa's better. Chris. Phillies. But okay, so I think we need to all admit that like kind of all fast food is a little bit trashy, except for one place. McDonald's. McDonald's makes everything better. Like you can't be sad in a McDonald's. I have never been sad in a McDonald's. I have been so hungover at a McDonald's where I fell asleep in the bathroom only to be woken up by the guy who had to clean it and was terrified that he'd stumbled onto another dead body, but never sad. That last joke isn't entirely true. He wasn't terrified to stumble upon me. Like I was like the third body he'd found that month. Like he's just annoyed at finding bodies in the bathroom at this point. Like I think he's more worried that I was just asleep and not dead from an overdose. Like that's normal, but someone sleeping there, that's wrong. What's wrong with that person? Stunned silence. That's what's wrong. I have been sad in a Burger King though. And it's because when I was a kid, my brother took my little promotional Lion King Simba toy and he punted him into the ball pit. And I got really sad and I cried because my brother kicked Simba in the balls.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a journey for a mediocre joke. So let's end it there. You know, it's a good night when my jokes about alcoholism get more laughs than my attempt to actually write new material. Welcome to the canceled mic where I take over. All right, you guys. So I'm really excited for our next comedian. He is an eternal time lord drifting through life trying to find his real purpose, but failing spectacularly.
Aww.
Give it up for Ralph Anthony.
All right. Holy shit. I don't even know how do you respond to that? Wow. Okay, thank you. I feel honored. I don't know what's more awkward, Brooks's intros or Tom's. I don't know. Can I get a do-over? Let's get a mulligan. All right.
Give it up for the guy who's so handsome and lives in the Unabomber's apartment, Ralph Anthony.
Yeah. You know what? That's way more legit. I like it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I should probably tell everyone first, for those of you just tuning in, this is not a manifesto, okay? It's really not. It's just, they're all just jokes, okay? Facebook Live, Facebook streaming, Facebook family, whatever we're doing. Yeah, they're just jokes. Okay. Now it really does seem like a manifesto because I said they're just jokes 47 times in a row. I got a lot of things I don't like. I hate people that talk about the supposed high that you get from running. It was, hey, you hear about the runner's high? These people are the fucking worst, man. Like I remember when I was getting off drugs and my friends would say, hey, Ralph, you should try running. That runner's high will really make you forget all about drugs. Really. If I called up my friends at 3 a.m. and I was like, hey, you guys want to go running? You guys want to go some laps? I'd have to go find new friends. Over the last year, I did this deep sexual dive, and I realized I've got some fetishes. I became over the course of 2020, I realized I became in like an advent calendar. If I opened up a door and I saw one of those little chocolates, that's my fetish. But I didn't have fetishes like the cool kids, like bondage or role playing. No, my fetish was sexting. Yeah, that's the response it usually gets. It's weird to admit to people in public that words turn me on, but that's what I'm into. Like I want a girl to tell me how she's gonna, pin me down, tie me up, wear a face mask when she fucks me. Like that's what I want. I want a girl that's gonna mentally jerk me off in the beginning and then mind fuck me when it's all over. But I'm a horrible texter. Like I can't get the thoughts to the words to the sext. I don't have it in me. I'll get a sext that says, I want to grind on you till you feel how wet I am. And I'll just reply, your boobs feel so good. And I'll spell your wrong. I can't help it. I'm stupid. Like sexting is tough for me. Do you know how hard it is to sit there with my phone, lotion? Now I need a dictionary too. I might have ruined quite a few relationships, but I've definitely ruined way more phone cases. You know who's not stupid though? Doctors. Doctors are smart and they have fetishes too. I wonder if a doctor's into sexting, do you think they sext like us or do they sext like doctors? If we say, I want you to bite my nipples, would a doctor say, I want you to apply pressure to my areolas? Some of us might say, I want you to put a finger in my ass. Now, does a doctor say, I want you to insert a phalange into my anus? And guys love to say, suck my dick. Right, ladies, fellas? Such a class. Suck my dick. But does a doctor say, I want you to put my penis in your oral cavity? All right, you guys have been great. Thank you so much.
All right, you guys, keep it going for Ralph Anthony. Our next comedian is the host of the Zoomsday Comedy, the world's best virtual open mic, except for this one. Give it up for Evan Klim.
Thank you so much, Brooks. Thank you everyone for being here. Hey everyone, it's Evan. How y'all doing? You doing good? Yeah, great. Yesterday I was celebrating St. Patrick's Day, but I don't drink. So what I did is I just ate a bunch of green bananas. Thank you. A couple years ago, I went to Paris, but I don't speak any French. So it was like really hard for me to do anything. Like the only word I know in French is bibliothèque. So I just spent the entire trip at the library. Yeah. And I felt really comfy there. Not a word of lie. Like I really wanted to go grab something to eat, but I didn't know the French word for cafe. Yeah. I ended up spending so much time at the library. The librarian finally asked me to livre. So I booked it. Do you guys know what livre means then, eh? I wasn't sure how Americans would understand what livre is, but hey, comedy, it's all about getting vulnerable. So. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Hey, so I was a door-to-door fundraiser. Thank you. I was that for 3 hours. I learned a lot about myself during those 3 hours. Like I learned that I don't like talking to people. I don't. No. So I had to get a job where I wouldn't be talking to people. So I became a recruiter for surveys over the phone. Perfect job for me though, because no one likes to pick up their phone anymore. Mm-hmm. All right. So the other day I got a call from my friend. He's like, dude, I just got a job. I was like, yo, bro, that's sick. Good for you. And they said, the only catch is I need to take a drug test. And I was like, oh no, you can't pass a drug test. No way. No. And he's like, yeah, I was really hoping you could do me a solid and give me some of your pee. Folks, when I heard that, I said no. And to make sure I wouldn't be tempted to give him any of my pee, that night, I snorted a lot of drugs. Yeah. And you're probably thinking, like, Evan, that's super spiteful. Why would you ever do that to your friend? Well, drugs are a lot of fun. Come on. They are. Yeah. I also did it because I didn't want to be an enabler. Like, how could I let my friend get a job when he's loaded all the time? Like, I think what I was doing by not giving him any of my pee, I think I was being a really upstanding citizen. Like, I have high morals. You. Higher like you wouldn't believe. Hey, so I'm in a relationship. Thank you. Yeah. Now, before I met my girlfriend, my dating resume was just a blank sheet of paper. But that's why I'm super grateful that my girlfriend gave me an entry level position. Thank you. I got a minute left. I'm gonna fuck around with something. So I'm dyslexic, and something that sucks about being dyslexic is that there's like nobody in like popular culture that I can look to as being like an example of like something that I can like strive for and stuff, except for one character, like Yoda. Yoda's dyslexic. Yeah. Like I listen to the way he talks, I'm just like, fuck, that's so relatable. Yeah. Like I really want to see like baby Yoda like grow up in like the Mandalorian, and I just hope he doesn't fall through like the cracks in the education system. I really hope he can just like grow up and become like, like some like, have like a function normally and like not be like this character like in every movie that you see that has a disability but has that one superpower that makes people overlook the disability, Yeah, I'll fuck around with that little last part, but thanks for listening to me. Y'all have a good night. Okay, peace out.
Keep it going for Evan Klim, and you can check out the Zoomsday Comedy Mic every Monday at 9 p.m. Our next comedian is everybody's favorite ginger and possible McDonald's addict. Give it up for Nick Dees.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Yay! I'm clean. I'm 2 weeks off the junk, everybody. I'm 2 weeks sober from McDonald's. Fuck yeah. Not a Big Mac or a fish fillet has been running through these tubby veins. So fuck you, Brooks. The worst part is I waited until I got COVID to be like, I should probably get my life together. I'm going to start eating better and working out and shit. But like deep down inside, the little fat guy in my brain's like, dude, you'll be back. 100%. You'll be back. Fuck yeah, dude. Somebody earlier was talking about Girl Scout cookies. Dude, I don't think it's fair that Girl Scouts get cookies and like Boy Scouts have to settle on popcorn and getting molested. Because like, here's the thing, like, I don't think it's fair, not that I want to get molested, but like, I don't think that that's fair. Because like, here's the thing, like, I've never once been high and been like, you guys want some popcorn? But I have been high and been like, I'm gonna eat all 6 boxes of those calories. Because I'm a doer, goddammit, and my mom didn't raise a quitter, okay? Brooks is talking about getting canceled. This is where it all goes down. Fuck yeah. Leave it to the fat, straight white guy to be like, yeah, pedophiles are molesting people, Boy Scouts. Oh, God. I saw an article the other day that said that the suicide prevention hotline will be adopting a new 3-digit number. As if the extra numbers made all the difference. Here's the thing, like, I disagree. Like, I think they should keep the number the same length. They should just make it a funnier number, like 666-420-6969. Because you try punching that in a phone, and by the time you're done, you're not like, you know what? Every day is a gift. I think it's funny that as a society we have such double standards on certain things. Like I went and got brunch the other day, and I saw a girl order a mimosa with her breakfast, and the waiter looked at her and was like, "Ooh, someone's having fun." Like, I don't understand. Like, it's okay to have alcohol with breakfast if there's juice in it. But the second you see a guy sit down, order a Bud Light with his waffle, you're like, oh, something's wrong here. Like, there's clearly a problem. He might need help. I woke up this morning and I just had a nosebleed. which is weird because I wasn't on cocaine. Here's the problem. I'm 31 years old. Having a nosebleed at 31 sucks because all my friends just assume that I'm on drugs and they're just like, hey, someone likes to party. And I'm like, hey, someone has allergies. That's all it is. I'm dry, and so is the air. I'm not on drugs right now. I will say this. The first time I ever went to DC, I was going to get on the metro. And right before I got on the metro, I had a nosebleed. And I was with my girlfriend at the time and like 4 of her friends. And like they were all girls. And not a single one of them had a napkin, a Starbucks tissue, nothing. Not a single tissue. All these white women let me down. Except for one of them handed me a tampon and I stuck a tampon in my nose. And here I am just sitting on the metro with a tampon in my nose, filling up with blood. And this old lady looked at me and she was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I just have a heavy flow. Hey, thank you guys so much. That's my time. I've been Nick D's. You guys are wonderful people. Yay. Cancel Brooks, but not the rest of us.
Keep it going for Nick D's, everybody. Woo woo. You can catch him every Tuesday night on the Canceled Brooks mic, where he just lists a bunch of reasons why I should be canceled. Our next comedian. So please welcome our next comedian. He's an aspiring house husband. Give it up for Sam Salem.
Thank you so much. Nick D's, if you're everyone's favorite ginger, I feel like that's maybe by the popular vote, but I got the Electoral College on lock. I just want to Yeah, I feel like this, well, I wrote this bit, before this open mic happened. I feel like this is still pretty true, but some of us were challenging this maybe a bit, but I like this open mic because it's a pretty like safe, tolerant, like diverse group of people that say, funny stuff. Before, like, I love comedy, love doing comedy. I hate going to open mics, especially like before the pandemic in person. And like, we all know what's been going on in the United States, like, the insurrection at the Capitol, like all that stuff. I'm not trying to downplay those events, but if you want to see real domestic terrorism, go to an open mic hosted by some dude named Hunter in the back of a bowling alley. Because that this is I really don't do impressions. I don't really even make good first impressions, but this is the one impression I like to do. So this is my impression. Unfortunately, the reason sometimes open mics just have a lot, the in-person ones that I was going to before the pandemic was a lot of, unfortunately, people that were like my species, like straight white bros. And this is my impression of every like, douchey open micer I've ever encountered. So what's up, everybody? I use toxic masculinity to hide the fact that I've never felt love before. I like my women like I like my restaurants in crowded cities, parking available in the rear. Yahtzee. Quick shout out to my Lord and Savior, Joe Rogan. You can find me on the weekends tweeting Saturdays are for the boys and telling everyone that Barstool Sports is not racist. Thank you. So yeah, that was basically what I was encountering. But the only thing worse than dealing with like the super bro shock open micers is what my job currently is, which is dealing with middle schoolers, because they're even and I talk about teaching a lot. Yeah, middle schoolers, this is gonna sound real like old man on porch, but I don't think middle schoolers should have smartphones. Like that's just giving a 12-year-old like hormonal body changing more than an infant all the wisdom and knowledge of the internet. Like that's gonna lead to pure chaos. Yeah, they're always having their phones out. And the other day I had to bust this kid because he had his phone out videotaping around going, oh, mama's boy who cries at school, and was Snapchatting it. So I had to confiscate his phone, and it was really frustrating because the only reason I was crying is because I had a really long day. Yeah, the other day I had to break up a fight between 2 middle schoolers. Well, let me back up. First, after I confiscated this kid's phone, it was unlocked, and I don't know, the new update on iPhones is you can pin text messages to the like whatever conversations you use the most, you can pin those contacts at the top of your text messages. And I looked down, and his 2 pinned text conversations, one said mommy and the other said my main chick with a peach emoji. And I was like, at an age where you're calling her mommy, you're probably not old enough to have a main chick, especially because main chick implies that you have a side chick, and 12-year-old, you don't even have sideburns. But yeah, so anyway, I had to break up this fight one time, and I don't know, back in my day when we fought in middle school, maybe I was just innocent, but we'd say stuff like, my dad could beat up your dad. But this kid was like, hey, what's going on here? And this kid, Graham, was like, Brady's telling everybody that I send feet pics, and now I don't have any chance with Becca. And I'm like, oh my God, middle schoolers are kink shaming each other, slandering them online. So anyway, that's my time. Thank you guys. You've been amazing. And keep it up for both our hosts, Brooks and Tom.
Going for
I like
Sam
compliments.
Salem. I gotta tell you, I was feeling really personally called out during your entire impressions, man. Just cut right to the core of like half my personality. Our next comic is a comedian from North Carolina. Give it up for EJ Mesacampo.
Hey, all right, thank you. I am just getting my voice back after having lost it, so hopefully I'm comprehensible. Sorry if not. Hi. So here we are, folks. A white terrorist went on a killing spree of Asian women Tuesday night. All right, and I've been watching the cops and the media question whether the murders were racially motivated. This man killed 6 women in Georgia. Do you know how intentional you have to be to find 6 Asian people in the South? I've been living in the South for 16 years. I still haven't seen that many. All right, man found and killed 6 Asian people in the South. That's like if a guy found Waldo on every page of the book. All right, in which case, let's be real, he was definitely targeting Waldo. All right, and then people are like, hey, it turns out he's a sex addict, so this wasn't about race after all. Those were just the massage parlors he frequented. Yeah, how does the fact that he was sexually objectifying and victimizing these Asian women make it not racist? All right, that's like if people said, oh, Jeffrey Dahmer, good news, not a vicious killer after all. Turns out he just loves to eat. Whenever people are racist to me, it always feels so lazy. You're gonna make fun of my skin color? How about the fact that I clearly haven't showered? I'm at a bar by myself. I'm poorly dressed. You try to hurt my feelings. You point out my race. That's one of the few things I have going for me. You're right. I do belong to a supportive community. They're like, hey man, just go back to Beijing. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't realize I looked like I was doing that well. You really think I could make it there? Racist people, they always want to send me back to China, and yeah, if that ever did happen, my family in the Philippines would be so impressed by how well traveled I am. Everyone always assumes China. White people who learn Chinese love to practice it on me. Yeah, it happens so often. They actually are teaching me Chinese. It's like, EJ, your Mandarin is impeccable. Are you being tutored? Actually, I'm being stereotyped. There's nothing worse than people just assuming I'm Chinese. Unless I'm at a Chinese restaurant, then ni hao, my people, what's good? All hail Chairman Mao. Any special discounts? This was in the news recently. We are just now seeing the first Asian nominee for Best Actor in 2021. And that is proof that Asian people are always the last people in a group to be noticed. And that is super messed up. And as someone with social anxiety, super convenient. Yeah, my college friends were like, EJ, do not take Colin's literature class. He never calls on his Asian students. And I'm like, wow, that's terrible and racist. And what day is that? Yeah, I do not do well in groups. Any group discussion with more than 4 people, and I freeze up, which is ironic because there's a lot of us. No, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Asian people are being seen more here in America. I do think it's very important right now that we give Asian American people a voice. I unfortunately have a doctor's appointment.
All right, everybody, keep it going for EJ Mesacampo. All right, I'm really excited. Wow, I'm getting an echo.
It's not anymore. It's just, I guess, someone's thing is on and it happens at a certain volume. So.
I did not like hearing the sound of my own voice.
It's okay.
Why
Nobody
do you guys
does.
put up with that every week?
We
Give it up for our next comedian, who I'm really excited to welcome to the mic, Jessica Hudson.
Woo, woo,
woo, woo. Thank you, everybody. So I just turned 40.
Woo.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. I want you to know that 40-year-old women are not all dried up. I am super wet because I keep spilling my wine on me. I realized I'm going backwards, like Benjamin Button. Instead of getting younger in age, I'm getting younger with my life choices. I'm making some bad decisions at 40. I stay up late. I smoke weed and I eat it. I have slumber parties and we play Twister and then my back fucking hurts. But compared to my friends who are 40, tied down in a marriage with kids and looking so depleted all the time, I'm fucking killing it. I live with my mom. And she is so Mexican that I have to translate her English into English for people. I should say I roommate with her though, because even though she pays the rent, I still do the fucking dishes. Last week she caught me smoking weed in my room. It was pretty embarrassing because my mom doesn't know about weed. I was looking all surprised in a cloud of smoke with a pipe in my hand, and she asked me, "What are you doing? It smells like a skunk in here." I told her I'm relaxing. She said, "Oh, okay. Well, can you blow it in my face? I want to relax too." If only I had known my mom wanted to relax with me when I was younger, I'd have gotten her so high, she wouldn't have noticed I didn't go to fucking college. She wouldn't have noticed I didn't go to college. But I thought my life would be more traditional, so to speak, at 40, married to a man with kids. But instead, I found out that I'm a lesbian. That's what they told me in an email from the LGBTQ community. They wanted my support. So I was like, sure, I'll support you. No, really, I'm fucking gay. So I even got my first tattoo at 40, and they are my cat's paw prints, and they're on my shoulder, and they're so cute. I just wanted to display how much I love pussy. Coming out as gay was challenging, but not for me, for everyone in my life. My family was confused. I was super boy crazy growing up. Wow, I'm running out of time. I had to convince them when I would bring home a girlfriend. I'd be like, "This is my partner. This is my, my girlfriend." And they're like, "Oh, your partner? You're in business together?" And I was like, "No, this is my girlfriend. I fucking go down on her every night." Shit, I played softball. Why don't you guys know this? You should have had a fucking clue. And my friends didn't believe me either because I look super straight. I look like a girl who gets a lot of dick pics. I also have a very slutty history with men, and my friends know that about me, and I will leave that at that.
All right, you guys, keep it going for Jessica Hudson. All right, I am real excited to introduce our next comedian to the mic. He is Martin Luther King's other son. Give it up for Carrie Cool Trip.
Hey, what's up, guys? Man, thank you guys for having me, man. Shout out. I love that intro. Oh, shit, man. So, man, I've lived a wild life. So, I got suspended from Six Flags for a year. And so, but before we get there, we showed up, me and my friends. It was all fun and games. I just wanted to kind of eat and walk around and play games, right? And so my homeboy convinced me to get on the goddamn roller coaster. Only reason why I did it is I was trying to impress this girl. Now that's that's admirable, ladies. I was willing to die to please this woman. So when it was time to get on there, all that tough shit went out the window. I was so nervous. My little apple bottom booty was clenching. I was clenching my ass tight. I was so scared. I could have cracked a pecan, I swear to God. It was the one where your hands and feet is out. That scared me. When a guy was strapping me and I said, I don't want to do this. Like that's the first level of fear. And we gets on there, and as soon as we took off, we went right into a loop. And my friend was across from me, and I had my eyes closed. And he said, "Open your eyes before I spit in your face." That's a bad friend. And he counted me down. He was like 1, 2, 3, and I opened them, and it was too late for him to stop. He spat, and I saw the loogie coming right at me in slow motion. And then it hit me right here in the corner of my eye. I didn't know he was a goddamn serpent viper that can spit accurately like that. The damn roller coaster. I don't even remember the ride because I passed out like 3 times. You know how sad it is to be woken up with spit and shit on your face? It was all fun and games until 20 minutes later, I got into a fight with Daffy Duck. I didn't like, this dude was taking his job way too serious. I ain't like how he was talking to me. He was bending out like, "Oh, hey, little man, you so cute." I didn't like that. And then he was petting me at the same time. I didn't appreciate that. And then he picks me up and was shaking me in the air and tickling me. I couldn't believe he did me like that. So I kicked him in his nuts and he dropped me. And then he got a water gun and shot me with the face. So I'm discombobulated trying to dodge it. It was a family eating behind me. This lady had a funnel cake. I snatched her funnel cake raw-handed and threw it in Daffy's face. This shit went down. Porky Pig and Taz had to break it up. And what makes this shit crazy is these are real people in costumes. Nobody took the mask off. All this was happening while they was fully dressed. The manager finally came and said, "Hey, enough, Pacquiao." The dude called me Pacquiao. And then he asked me, he said, "Young man, where your parents at?" He thought I was a kid out here doing this. I didn't have the heart to tell him I was 27 years old, acting like this. They took me to the back. It was this random office. I think it was like theme park, detention or prison. So I get there. It was a overly sunburned dude, drunk. Dude was so sunburned, he looked like a grapefruit. Then there was another black dude in there. He got in trouble for selling weed at Six Flags. I couldn't believe it. And then the last guy, Wile E. Coyote, was in there with his mask off with handcuffs on. I said, "What happened?" He said, "Man, they got mad because I choked out the road runner in the cafeteria." What type of ratchet Six Flags is this? Who hired these criminal ass people in here? That's what happens when you get drunk at Six Flags drinking Four Locos. You get assaulted and softly molested. Anyway, thank you guys, man. I appreciate the time.
All right, you guys, keep it going for Carrie Cool Trip. Our next comedian, here he is, fresh from the land of gas station pizza. Please welcome to the stage, Ben Woodfield.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for having me here. So I learned a lesson today, is you should not have friends that are also friends with your parents. I'll elaborate. Today, my mom, her friends, and I, we were out going to Best Buy because she needed to drop off her son's phone to the Geek Squad. Apparently, she was trying to figure out how to disable the camera because he won't stop sending dick pics to other women, or to women at his school. Now, Kayla, that's her name, and me, we're in agreement. we don't think dick pics are ever like something you should send. Like, it's a pretty icky thing. Now you are entitled to have your own opinion, or should I say the opinion of my mother. She said, "Hold on, Kayla, don't speak for all women there." And she goes, "Hey, you like dick pics?" And I'm thinking, Mom, don't talk about my father this way. Oh my! I really envy people whose parents didn't talk to them about like the birds and the bees. Like, I was very well educated, and it was terrifying. Another odd tidbit that I learned is both of my grandfathers were dynamite lovers, and the only reason that I know that is because one brought it up, and the other confirmed that their husband was also a dynamite lover, and now I really want to throw up. So I had COVID a couple weeks ago, and I'm still having a bunch of lingering side effects. Like, I've lost my sense of smell, my sense of taste, my sense of humor. It's all fucking although it could be argued I didn't have that last one to begin with. But it's just like this perpetual like brain fog. It's like all the worst parts about being stoned without like making Doctor Who really interesting. So I'm a college student. I'm an English major, which I understand is pretty useless. You don't have to. There's no punchline there. It's just sad. I was in a poetry class the other day, and I was a little upset because they didn't actually teach me anything about poetry. It was like an hour-long discussion on Black feminism, and don't get me wrong, it wasn't like I was going to object to anything they were saying. Not that I could if I wanted to. That's a bad look. You know what? I really don't think things are that bad because, you know, I'm none of these things we're talking about. Like either I'm silent or I'm Hitler. Like, there's no in between. Man, one of the weirder questions I got asked is, do you like talking about race issues with people of your own race? No, I don't. You know how many Republicans are in the family tree? Like, I'm from Iowa. Like, if you look at the Electoral College map, it was bright fucking red in November. Very irritating. Very not happy with it. Oh shit, I'm down to 40 seconds. What can I do like a couple times in this? You know what? I'll just give the time back to the room. Thank you guys for having me. I've been Ben Woodfield. I got
All right, you guys. Woo! Keep it going for Ben Woodfield. And unless I do another one of my famous screwing up the orders, I think our final comedian tonight is a comic based in LA. Give it up for Kat Moore.
Thank you. Thank you. So I only get to do this. If y'all saw me getting up and down while your sets were going on, I apologize. I'm transitioning my cat to having 2 foster kittens stay with us, and the transition has not gone as planned. Yeah, I was like, am I gonna whip out the bike card to? Yes, I am. I'll whip out any card available to me to excuse my behavior. Although more and more that card is just becoming, this is my personality, and you should know better. Here you go. Just take that there. Next time you want me to do anything important. It's a terrible thing being forgetful. I bought a book 2 weeks ago called How to Get Organized, and today I don't know where it is. And people get mad at me too. Again, you shouldn't trust it with me, but they get mad, and I'm like, do you think I like living this way? Every day is a hell. Every day, okay? You think I woke up and said, all right, what's on the to-do list? Forget everything. Check. Ooh, can't wait to get started. I am also trying to give up smoking. And so I have no willpower. So I bought myself a timer safe. And I was like, this is the method. It's, you put something in it, it won't open for however long you set the time. This is foolproof. It's still in the box. So we're doing real good. Anyway, I used to go to church with somebody for like a hot minute until I found out her church didn't celebrate Christmas. And I was like, that's a cult. And then she invited me out to dinner a week later after I said I didn't want to go to church with her anymore. And she gave me a present that was a framed picture. Well, I'm not quite sure what to call it. Does anyone know the plural for Jesus? Is it Jesuses? Jesus, I'm liking Christ collage. I feel like that one could be in the running. What do you say when you get a gift like this? Oh, it's just what I wanted. Let's break it down. So first we have my children, little children come unto me. A dirty name for the picture, but the name nonetheless. A classic. I would be disappointed if it wasn't included, to be honest, my favorite. Then we get a little bit more fun, a little bit more creative. We get a little bit of clip art going on here. He's not the guy that we should focus on, my friends. This is the guy we should focus on. He's winking. What is he winking about? Is he not the son of God? Did he not die for my sins? Is he a jokester? Was he like, all right, Paul, you won't see me after the cross? It keeps me awake. My ex-boyfriend really, really hated this thing. Or maybe. Oh, by the way, given to me with full sincerity. Full sincerity. If there had been any irony, I would have burned it long ago as a tribute to Jesus. But there was no irony to be found, and I can't throw it away. I've tried. He stares at me from the trash. Well, joke. My boyfriend hated it, and that might have been because he was agnostic, and might have been because I put it on the nightstand. My sister is so she's from South Carolina, and I was raised in the Tennessee mountains, which are two completely different manners sets. Just so y'all know. And she was always trying to like critique me at manners all the time. And we were at a restaurant, and the host was like, in or out? And I said, out. She was like, Kat, you shouldn't just say out. You should say out, please. It's so rude to just say out. And I was like, is it more rude than yelling about manners in the middle of a restaurant? I'm not so sure. A lot of people where I'm from are very proud. Their family never owned slaves. And they always say it like, my family never owned slaves. We were way too poor. I don't know if that's the brag you think it is. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your night.
Keep it going for Kat. All right, everybody. That is our lineup for today. Be sure to plug your pluggables in the chat. Tom, close us out, man.
Will do. I'm just kicking the timer out of the room. Here we go. All right. So that's it for tonight, everybody. We're going to stop the stream, but we're going to keep the room open for 15 to 30 minutes for some green room time if any of the comedians are interested. But I want to give a big thank you to all the comedians who performed tonight and to you, our audience. If you enjoyed the show and want to support the stream, please consider making a donation of any size, not to us, but at bit.ly/District Comedy ACT, because that's the website we are donating to the AIDS Committee of Toronto for our charity show tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'm still really excited about it. I'm sorry, I can't just like also close out the show without mentioning how fucking funny Waking Jesus is. Like, that fucking killed me. Oh my god, he's got a dirty little secret for your sins. But yeah, and if you don't want to donate anything, please feel free to like, share, and follow us, as that also helps. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Have a good night, everybody.